Welcome back to the Gus and Rus Show. I'm Russ,
I'm Gus.
and we had a little change of pace this time around. I don't know if I did, because you could call this a cousin to Bone Tomahawk. No, you couldn't. But they're both cowboys involved in it, so, I mean, a cowboy's a cowboy's a cowboy.
The entire state of Texas was very offended by that joke.
I hope they were. I've been there once. It's okay. Are all the stereotypes about Texas true? From what I saw, yes. I had to watch the 2016 classic Hell or High Water. And what'd you have to listen to, Gus?
I had to listen to Evermore by Taylor Swift.
Are you a Swiftie now, Gus?
My relationship with Taylor Swift is I don't actively seek out her work. I wouldn't by any metric call myself. I don't dislike her. I just want to call myself a fan because that kind of I think it implies I actively listen to her music, and I don't. I listen to the classics,
Yes.
You Belong With Me.
Yes.
I listen to some of the stuff from 1989, like Blank Space.
Yes.
Listen to the anything that kind of is
some
on
absolute bops.
Yeah.
As you would.
Sure. I'm glad that your children will be able to listen to you talking like this in slang, Russ. They'll be like, "Wow, my dad was just such a cool dude."
Oh, I know. I'm the coolest.
Well, actually, that would require you to actually procreate, which is just. Never mind. I guess whatever children you have locked in your basement.
Well, joke's on you. I don't have a basement. I live in an apartment.
Yeah. Okay.
Haha.
Fine. I guess the trailer, whatever you have out back. But yeah, so I guess with this album, this is probably the first full album of Taylor Swift's that I've ever listened to. And it was good. I dug it. But we're going to move on to that later, because for right now we're going to start with you and the movie.
Yeah. I liked it. It was good. I mean, there was a lot of there was a little too much Texas for me.
I think Chris Pine balanced it out.
Yes. But I mean, Texas is pretty overwhelming, though.
I don't even... Was it filmed? I think it was filmed in Texas, yeah. It was filmed in, probably...
That was the middle of nowhere, Texas.
Yeah, West Texas.
Oh, that's not even the part of Texas I went to. I went to East Texas.
Well, that's the one with people, Russ.
Yeah, it sure is. West Texas is just nothing, from what I've heard.
Yeah, it's lizards and Gila monsters.
Is it Gila monsters or Gia monsters?
I'll
never know.
I'm not good at pronouncing shit.
I don't know. It's Texas, though, so they probably say Gila monsters.
They probably say guy. No, I'm kidding.
The third option we didn't know was there.
Yeah.
Gila monsters.
Yeah. So you liked it. It was good. I mean, what was your favorite part of the film, or
the scene that made me laugh the most was the gas station scene. Funny enough, pulls in, Dr. Pepper. They fucking pull up in. It looks like a Hellcat. That's what I'm going to assume it was. I did not see a name for it, but I'm just gonna call it a Hellcat. We're gonna go with that. Just blasting, just butt metal. I don't know what else to call it. It's terrible.
Butt metal?
Yes. So there's butt rock, so butt metal.
Okay.
It's like...
You're the music guy. I'm going to take your word for it. I feel like you're just kind of making up words just to confuse me.
It's typically slang for very muddled music that has no true points, and it's just kind of... You can put it on the background, and you can play any song, and it all sounds the exact same in the background.
Okay.
It seems like it's made to not be able to stand out. It kind of all blends in.
Like a butt?
I don't know. The butt rock's been a term for a minute, and that's a lot of the ripoffs of Pearl Jam, and ripoffs of Soundgarden. Creed is a good example of it.
From The Office? No, I'm kidding.
We can't watch that anymore.
So
I'm not buying Peacock.
Yeah, no, it's on Peacock. Or I honestly, let's go on another tangent here because we're so good at staying on track. I don't like how streaming has now become basically cable. Again, you have to basically, because there's stuff like Sling or Roku, whatever, where it's it's you have to pay a monthly fee, but you get a bunch of channels. Or there's HGTV Plus, Discovery Plus. There's obviously the Netflix and the Disney Plus and the Hulu. I'm just honestly I'm just waiting for the NFL to be like, we have a streaming NFL.
They already kind of do.
NFL Game Access or All Access. Sunday Ticket. Red Zone. But I just my only wish I guess down the line is that NFL eventually gets to the point to where you don't need cable for their service. I think Game Pass does require a cable provider, maybe. But I'm wishing they could do like something like Red Zone or something like Game Pass, whatever, where it's just like no cable provider whatsoever. It's just you can just pay the fee and you have all the games.
I wish that you could just personally buy like the specific like games for your team. Because what I always hated growing up was like us paying for the entire Sunday ticket when we were only using it to watch Vikings games.
Yeah, well the thing is that they make less money that way.
They do, but it's more convenient for me.
They're not going to do that, Russ.
I know they're not, but I want it.
Back on track. So, speaking of money,
wait, because I was still talking about the fucking scene.
Yep.
It pulls up in the fucking like Hellcat. Just fucking half asleep, staring at the dude. Fucking kid pulls out a gun. It's like, you want trouble? I'll give you trouble. And then out of fucking nowhere, Toby comes in and just kicks the fuck out of him. It was like 10 repeated just straight punches to the head.
Yeah.
Kicks him in the ribs a few times and just throws a gun across the fucking parking lot.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. That was Chris Pratt. Like honestly, that's the thing. Is like everyone in this film is phenomenal. I give special attention to Jeff Bridges and Ben Foster, who played Tanner.
Yes.
Well, Bridges played the sheriff. Obviously.
He sure did.
Played
Hamilton.
Yeah, played Rooster Cockburn. Like the sequel, I guess. But like the acting was phenomenal. Even like the bit parts, like my favorite scene was the waitress when the two sheriffs walk in.
Oh, with the arms.
Well, they all have arms, Russ.
Well, no, like the one at the T-bone place that she has like the kind of deformed forearms going on.
I think she's just old.
Well, look at me being an asshole.
It's just like, I guess you're like, yeah, she had all this weird shit on her face. Like her skin looked super burnt. Like that's just wrinkles. Well, it's fucking disgusting.
She had these eyes and a nose and a mouth.
Yeah, Russ McIntyre hates old people. Put it out there. I mean,
what are they gonna do? Chase me?
That's a fair point, I guess. Like, yeah, I mean, if I can outrun you, I can just say whatever I want, right?
Oh fuck! What if they have a gun? I can't run a bullet. Wait, they have arthritis. I can't pull the trigger.
I can't pull the trigger. But I think and she's just like, look, I've been a server for 44 years. The only thing anyone has ever ordered here
is T-bone steak.
Is T-bone steak and
now,
potatoes.
What don't you want? The corn or the green beans? Well, I don't want the green beans. I don't want the green beans.
Yeah.
All right, you're both going on sweet tea. Then she fucking waits for Jeff Bridges to say yes, ma'am.
Yeah. It's just like, that servers. Like those types are like the rural towns are very rare, but they are awesome. Because I've only met like one or two of them like traveling.
Yeah.
And like continentally, I guess.
I've met a few in Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia.
Always Georgia.
Tennessee. There was one like it was funny. The weirdest place I seen was one of those types was in a Waffle House in the middle of Atlanta.
Really?
Did not expect that.
I wouldn't expect that either because I've never had one in Tennessee because I always go to like Knoxville, Nashville, or I'll just be driving through and just avoid it.
It was where I think like Dolly World like a couple of years back. It was just like like middle of nowhere Tennessee.
I gotcha.
Granted, I think everywhere in Tennessee outside Nashville is nowhere Tennessee, but
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And I'm sure like there are people like, I'm from Tennessee, I'm offended, but in reality we all know Tennessee people can't type because they can't read, so they can't Google YouTube, so they can't look up the show, so I'm safe.
You are.
But anyway, like moving on, so like all the characters really were like, and I think it's the key thing is all the characters were really well fleshed out and extremely well acted, and I think most of that lies in part obviously the great cast, but Taylor Sheridan or Sheridan.
I'm going to Sheridan.
Sheridan, that sounds more right. I'm so good at pronouncing stuff. But he wrote the movie. He did Sicario, the first one,
yes,
and also the sequel, and then he did Wind River with Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen, the one where like there's like the murder on the reservation on in Wyoming, I think.
I gotcha.
But it's like. He I think he's from Texas or somewhere in the Southeast, so he really understands kind of like those like types of people because those are his people.
Yeah.
And in fact, he even said like the scene near the end where Chris Pine gives a whole monologue on poverty is the first scene he wrote, and he said the entire reason why he did the movie. I think it kind of speaks because a lot of the film deals with themes like of poverty or like how these people operate in the world they live in. Like, we talk about like the kids or the banks, even the bank people don't like the bigger bank people because like they see themselves as small town banks.
Everyone there like hates the bank.
For good reason. Banks suck.
The movie, and the thing is, the movie always gives like everyone a reason to hate it. Like they don't just say, "Oh, fuck them." They'll give like a reason for it first, and then say, "Fuck them."
Yeah, I mean, like the reverse mortgage, which was just that's financially genius, but like also at the same time, like that's just so cruel, because it's like you have enough to like pay off the interest.
Yes.
Right? Like keeping them, but you never have enough to actually get the principal. So it's a good return for the bank, but the person who has the loan just
gets fucked.
Yeah. Never gets. And so that, and I think one of the key things that makes this movie better than say something like 999 or what's another one that's like maybe like another heist film that wasn't that great. Den of Thieves.
Yeah.
Is the fact that like yes, the heists are part of the excitement and they're exciting and they're fun, but the film puts character first. Like the best scenes in the movie, or most of the scenes are just two characters talking and just kind of chatting and like being characters.
Yeah.
And I think that
they flesh out the world and the characters very well.
Yeah. And Den of Thieves probably would have been better, but it's basically just a rip off of Heat. And then 999 was just like super fucking boring because the bank robbery scenes were cool, but nothing of substance happened. It had a really good cast too. Like they had a better cast than How I Wire. They had like Gal Gadot, they had Aaron Paul, they had Dominic Cooper, they had Norman Reedus, they had I'm gonna mess up this name so fucking bad. Chiwetel Ejiofor. He's the maid guy from 12 Years a Slave. He's in Doctor Strange. He's in he was in what's the Netflix movie, The Charlize Theron? The Old Guard. He played one of the villains in there.
Well, this just in. Gus hates non-white names, so there you go.
I do. I hate all non-white names. I hate anything that sounds un-American.
I say as I can't pronounce his name either, yet I've seen 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I have Lupita Nyong'o down, or kind of down, but it's just the first name. Like LG4, like I know. It's the first name. If I had it in front of me, I could maybe do it. That shows you how open-minded and obviously very, like cultural I am.
I mean, you are from Switzerland. Now I'm just dragging Switzerland.
Yes, what Switzerland is like, they are very, what's the word? They're not closed-minded. They're insular, like because like the whole thing with like because of the way that their citizenship works.
Well, a lot of countries on like little areas surrounding them are.
Yeah. Well, I guess everyone surrounding them is white and European, and so are they. So, but like it's not like America is kind of like because of things like naturalized citizenship exist, or because of like or peers or shore because also like if you're born here, you're on access, and in Switzerland, it's like you have to be of Swiss descent. If you're not Swiss descent, you have to live here for like a decade, or if you're a kid, like 5 years.
Yeah.
So, which even I think for American, like or for not Americans, if you live here for I think 7 years.
I think so.
But
I think they're trying to move that to 5.
Yeah. They might. I don't know because now that now we're gonna move away from this.
Yeah.
So the anyway, so yeah, I think. The key thing is that's kind of makes I think Sheridan's film is good is the fact that they focus on issues larger than like obviously there's a great story attached, but the themes are also really important to those people. Like for instance, Wind River focuses on the issues that Native Americans face, particularly young Native American women, because apparently hundreds of them are killed every year, and there's really no investigation, no effort put into those murders, like there would be for say like a young white girl. And then also, of course, with Sicario, there's the issue of immigration, of the drug cartels, and the role the government has played in sort of exacerbating those scenarios.
Yes.
And, it's just stuff like that. And I think this one ties in that further, especially with the Taylor end conversation, which I think this is the one where probably the themes are most forefront. I mean, this is the one where like they really, it's a little on the nose with the monologue. But of course, it's Chris Pine, so it's still a great monologue. But even then, like, I think the acting performances, the writing, and also the bank robberies are really tense and awesome. Like there's some really great tension scenes, like the scene where Chris Pine gets pulled over by a cop, I think it's right after the bank robbery.
It is, and we're talking about the checkpoint where he has to hide his wound.
Yeah.
And they're checking his ID, and he's just sitting there for like 5 minutes, just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know. But no, that was very tense. Not gonna laugh. The first bank robbery made me laugh a lot.
It did. Well, it did. I was surprised by how funny this movie actually is. Because there's a waitress scene. There's the scene with the gas station. There's just like, and even Tanner in general says like a lot of lines.
Yeah.
Where they're actually generally funny, and that's surprising. Like actually, I really like that more dramatic films are doing this now. Even David Fincher, who most people know from doing like The Social Network or Seven or Zodiac, is like, he's like that really serious like director motif kind of attached to him, or like he's a very like he's a very serious, like, dramatic director. He's never done a comedy. He's never done anything funny. But even in Gone Girl, they started having they had Carrie Coon do jokes as Margot to start actually having like humor. And I like the fact that dramas are doing that now because it makes the dramatic scenes seem more dramatic because it's actually realistic. Like people, even in really tense situations, they joke, they laugh.
It's a natural human response to distress usually.
Yeah, like and granted, they've been doing it. I mean, some filmmakers have been doing it for a while. I mean, I remember in Saving Private Ryan, there's it's darkly comedic, or it tends to be more horrific than comedic, but still like the guy's telling a joke. Is like when the there's like these two Americans and they're like they're making Germans surrender, and the Germans raise their hands, they start talking, and they shoot him, and the guy goes, "Wait, what'd they say?" And the guy goes like, "Look, I washed my hands for supper." And also what's kind of more fucked up about that is the fact that if you apparently if they weren't speaking German, they were speaking. It might have been Ukrainian or something like it. Basically, they were conscripts from a different country who were forced to fight for Germany.
Yes.
So they're just killed just because they were wearing the wrong uniform. Like.
Isn't there a bunch of like moments like that where it's like darkly comedic in a Full Metal Jacket?
That too. I mean, everything comes out of Arlie Emery's mouth is hilarious. Just about, but I think the scene with the prostitute, and I'm trying to think what else. Like I haven't seen that movie in years, but like the one where like they're trying to, I think the one where they're fighting over who gets her first, and then she says like, "Oh, I don't mess with black guys," and it's just so out of nowhere that they're like, "What the fuck do you mean?" So like, God. So going back on track,
yes.
I think that including that was a really smart decision. Really, I think Sheridan would be, I imagine, would be because it's like I think it would be probably more popular to people who like live in our area, who live in the Southeast, because most of his stuff deals with people from rural areas dealing with rural problems in like rural ways. Like there's a lot of like even the bank robberies, right?
Yeah.
Are frontier justice because the banks they rob are branches of the bank that gave their mother the terrible loan and basically put her in financial hell. So to them it's like this is just payback. And I think a lot of people would not only empathize with that, but also actually in a way even condone it.
They can get behind it.
They get behind it because I think a lot of people would do the same thing, especially if you wanted to get out of there's a lot of talk about breaking the cycle of poverty in America, the American dream, and you gotta sacrifice a lot to get there, but these guys were like, yeah, we're gonna go rob Mex because fuck Mex.
It's their answer. We're gonna do it.
Also helps. It only came out I think like 8 years after the housing crisis.
Oh yeah.
So I was really just in general I think the themes. I keep coming with themes. I'm gonna move on from that. I would say moving more so on the acting and the tension, the shootout near the end, where one of the where Jeff Bridges witnesses a death, and his reaction, his gut reaction, it's just it seems really any other actor I think would be kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
But it's because it's Jeff Bridges. I think it's probably one of the most incredible pieces of acting in the film, and it kind of reminds me of Captain Phillips, the tail end of Captain Phillips. You've seen that one where he's I
have not.
I am the captain now.
I've not. I never saw Captain Phillips.
Okay, we've seen the memes.
I've seen the memes. Yes.
Okay, well, let's go. That's the important part of the movie, Russ.
Gotcha.
But the tail end, he's kind of after the situation's over, Tom Hanks, he plays Captain Phillips going into shock, and the way he does that is just completely insane. Like I'm like because he goes like actually pale. And he starts shaking, and I'm like, I think Tom Hanks should just actually have like a panic attack or something. Like that's ridiculous.
They just pumped him full of adrenaline to see what happens.
They gave a 65-year-old man just a good shot of like it's like, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Let's see what happens. I'm gonna go ahead and give the movie a 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. There's one thing I have an issue with, but it's also something that I don't know how I would have done it, so I can't really complain about it.
What is the issue?
I don't know, just Tanner's death just didn't seem as grandiose as I thought it should have been. But also, the way he died fits with the rest of the movie. So I don't know why I'm so frustrated with it.
Yeah, it's actually, I would say most of the deaths really are not very grandiose. Like even the way they're shot. Like for instance, there's like there's a scene where one guy gets shot. Like one guy's talking to him, and then one guy gets shot, and he's shot, and the guy's still talking. He doesn't notice the first their guy got shot, and he turns and he's like, "Oh shit!" But the camera still does the frame of when they're talking to each other, and I like the way I agree it's not as grandiose. In that I think maybe it wasn't as like because Foster's character never really gets like he kind of has like a little he doesn't really have much of an arc character wise. Like he has like a pretty it's not static, but it's like it's definitely something that where like there's probably an arc kind of forming, and then he dies.
Yeah.
But granted, I think that makes sense, especially considering he died. like. I mean, also the time period of the movie is like not that long, so
it's a few days, I think.
Yeah, how much is really gonna grow?
Yeah.
But I think obviously the focus of the movie is Chris Pine and Jeff Bridges and their relationship. That's why they're the two big names.
Yeah.
In the movie. And I also give like a 9 out of 10. I think anyone who likes westerns or is from a small town or knows small town people should check out Hell or High Water, and also if you I think if you live near a Native American reservation, or like if you know people who do, or you are Native American, I would recommend also Wind River.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, so moving on to much lighter series events. Not as heavy.
I mean, there's a few.
That's
there's
true.
a few songs, but
that's true.
Not as heavy.
Well, okay, I take it back. No deaths.
No one officially dies.
No one officially dies in the Evermore.
I mean, there's one song where there's one song where someone does die.
If we don't see it.
You're right. There's no visual deaths.
Yeah.
Only audible.
But
sponsored by Audible.
Sponsored by Audible. Give us fucking money, Audible.
I would love that.
But yeah, so Evermore. This is like Taylor Swift's like Cajillionth album. I have no idea how many albums she's done. And it's apparently a sister companion to Folklore.
Yes.
And it's like I can't recall when Folklore came out.
They were both surprise released.
Yeah,
like
this
5 months apart.
Yeah, this one was like I think came out in December. It was like I think they announced it 18 hours before it dropped. Like Taylor Swift was just like, oh yeah, I'm releasing it like in a day and a half. Have fun. And it's like, or not even a day and a half, like not even a day, just like releasing it tomorrow morning. Have fun. And the like, I guess, and I think that helps because like I think like there's really no expectation. So when it came out, it got really high reviews. And most people were kind of like, oh yeah, I dig this.
Yeah.
I really dig it too. I'm not really familiar with Taylor Swift's like
other work.
I mean, I know her big hits.
Yeah.
Like most people do.
You know the commercial ones.
Yeah, like the ones they use in like films or commercials or radio. Or
like that new Match.com commercial.
I've not seen that one.
You haven't seen that one?
Is that the one with Satan 2021?
Yep.
Okay, I've seen that one then.
You've seen that one.
Or 2020, I should say.
Yep.
Hopefully not 2021.
It's 2020.
But yeah, I liked. But overall, I really dig the album. I'm not listening to much folk. Like my I think. Trying to think. The only other like major folk artist or folk style I listen to is probably Jim Croce.
Okay.
But even then, like he still has stuff like he's pretty folkish. Like,
I was scared you were gonna say Mumford and Sons. I was gonna be very upset with you.
I listen a lot to Keith Urban. I think he's the best.
Man, you make jokes, but when I was a child, I loved Keith Urban.
Well, that's why they should have left you in the gulag where you belong, Russ.
Yeah, no, I deserve that.
Yeah,
I absolutely do.
We're talking about the fact that if country music wasn't a thing, Keith Urban would be a bartender somewhere.
I agree with that, 100%.
Yeah.
He'd either be a bartender or a bouncer.
Yeah, I think with that tattoo sleeve, it's got to be a bartender.
He wears a lot of V-necks, though, instead of bouncers.
Okay, well, here's the thing, though. Like, I say this. I think here's the thing. If he wears the fedora, 1,000% a bartender.
Okay.
No fedora, he's a bouncer.
Got you.
Depends on the day.
Wait, no fedora, soul patch, bouncer. Or does the soul patch add back to the bartender?
I think I would argue soul patch is 100% a bartender thing.
Yeah, you're right.
I would say though, if he did
like a full goatee, maybe a
full
bouncer?
goatee or a trimmed beard, that's about 100% bouncer.
Okay.
If it goes to like Scraggly the Caveman, that's bartender.
Yeah. Oh.
Right. But I think also, doesn't he have highlights?
Yes.
Then that's 100% bartender.
Ah, you're right.
Like I don't even think if you have highlights in your head, and also you have the fedora, you could wear like basically like
you could work at any gastropub, any of them.
Any gastropub. You could also, I think, like let's say he just took the Raider fan we have at work or that we've seen at work.
Yes.
Like you could take like Keith Urban's face and then put put the Raider armor on, and it would still 1,000% be bartender.
You're right. And now we've discussed the breeds of bartender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And bouncer.
Go to your local shelter. Adopt.
Wait, how tall is Keith Urban? That's another factor.
I don't know. I've heard he's pretty short.
Bartender.
I've heard he's like... I think he's shorter than both of us. I think he's like 5'8" or something. I've heard stories that he's not that tall.
Here's the thing, I'm going to look it up. I would say, here's the thing, I mean, I'm also not that tall. I'm 5'8" as well. But,
Are you 5'8"? I thought you were 5'9".
I'm somewhere in between. That's 5'8". That's what I'm not gonna round up. I'm not gonna lie to myself. He's 5'10".
Oh, he's my height.
But they say 5'10".
I mean, then it goes back to arguing whether it's 5'10" or 5'11".
Okay, this is 1,000% peak 2005 bar. Like you're in a club in Los Angeles in 2005. This is your bartender.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. That is a deep V. I am not comfortable with that.
It's DV, the tattoo sleeves, it's tribal. He has a neck tattoo.
Of course it's tribal.
He's got shoulder length, hot hair, like it's from the sun. I mean, in general, like there is this is high level bartender energy. This is like indie bar energy, but like in the village of like Manhattan, but it's bartender. He's 100% a bartender.
Absolutely.
Bouncer should not be Bouncer and Keith Urban is not said in the same sentence.
You're not wrong. But back to Taylor Swift.
Back to Taylor Swift, who would argue has more bouncer energy than Keith Urban.
I mean, she is like tall as fuck.
She is tall.
She's tall as hell.
Yeah. But she's tall as hell. I think.
I mean, I still love a picture of. Well, there's a picture of her standing next to Bruno Mars. And it gives an idea of how tall she is.
Is Bruno Mars that tall, though?
No, he's very short, but also, like, he's, like, at her waist.
Yeah. I guess it doesn't matter. Cause
I think she's, like, 6 foot.
Yeah, but anyway. Yeah, definitely more...
bouncer energy.
Bouncer energy. I think she could probably kick Keith Urban's ass.
I mean, we can call Celebrity Deathmatch and get a Keith Urban Taylor Swift fight and see what happens.
Like, no, I mean it's not even a competition. Look, the day. Okay, look, I will rescind that statement the day that Taylor Swift gets a tribal tattoo or Keith Urban removes his tribal tattoo. But people with tribal tattoos, all right, are not as tough as you think they are. They get tattoos to make themselves feel tough.
Damn it.
That's not a tribal tattoo. That's a nationalistic tattoo. That's more of a. I'll be honest though. That still is not that. I don't know. Okay, look.
You don't know what the symbol is, do you?
Well, it's a Russian flag.
Well, yeah, but the heart and the triangle.
You love Russia?
It's a symbol for adoption.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's definitely not. That's definitely. That's not even. Well, no, I'm trying to think here. That's a. What is that energy? That's not bartender because it's not.
It's dog sitter energy.
This is dog sitter for 100%. That's dog sitter because it's not bouncer energy because it's not cool. It's not bartender. Or no, it's not bouncer because it's not intimidating.
Yes.
It's not bartender because it's not cool.
Yes.
It's. Honestly, it's like the thing that they, you know what it is?
What?
It is peak laser tattoo removal ad energy.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Okay, but back to Taylor Swift.
I'm grumpy.
So yeah, I'm not a big folk person. I did like the album though. I mean, I think it goes like there's some tracks like was it Cowboy It Is, or I have the whole list of tracks right here. Yeah, Cowboy Like Me. Sorry.
Yes.
And then also like Nobody No Crime. And there's some like they're kind of like Champagne Problems or I think Tolerate It where they introduced more like piano.
Yeah.
Willow I think is the big hit out of the bunch.
Well, that was the first single.
That was the first single. It's not like my favorite track. I like it. I like the it's not. And I like it, you know, because it's like I keep saying I like it. I like the chord progression, the percussion. I like the beat it creates. The only track I'm kind of like mad is probably Long Story Short. It's because it doesn't really fit the rest of the album. I mean, even some of the more popular stuff like Willow still has some like bassist and folk.
Yeah.
Long Story Short to me is straight up pop. And this is like, again, she's a pop artist or she has like pop and under her belt, so I get it. But it's just like, I guess it doesn't really fit the album. Outside of that, most of the lyrics are standard Taylor Swift stuff, you know, love, loss, breakups. This one I think is more like...
There's a little murder in this one, though.
A little murder, divorce, you know.
She swears a little bit.
She also does swear.
She's getting edgy.
She's getting edgy. Not my Taylor. Where is my... I thought she wore t-shirts. I thought she was hanging on the bleachers. Not this fucking F-bomb dropping stuff.
It's insanity. It's profanity.
How dare she act like an adult, this 31-year-old person?
How dare she?
You know, but it's like...
How dare she grow up and mature?
Yeah.
Hell.
Yeah, because she's been in the industry a while, hasn't she?
It's been a minute.
Because I think...
a minute.
Let's see.
We were in intermediate school when she started or something.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think here. If she was born in 89, then she was like, what, 20 when the first big album of hers? Maybe even 18?
I think she was like 19.
Okay. Well, what was the one? I would argue, was it You Belong With Me was her first big breakout?
She was still doing country when we were in middle school.
Yeah, her first big breakout song, I think, was You Belong With Me, right?
Yes.
I'm just remembering that. So that was like...
It's either that one or it's that Screen Door song, but I don't remember what the song that was.
I want to say that's 2007.
Around that area.
But so like, yeah, so like basically...
Right.
Well, the point is, I guess it doesn't matter what age she started. The point is now that she's kind of like, she's been here a minute, and she's probably going to stick around for a while.
And she's maintained her success the entire time.
She has. I think that kind of caters back to the fact that similar to The Weeknd, she's changed up her style from album to album. Like, you know, this album's a bit different from Folklore, which is obviously is hugely different from stuff like 1989, which is different from that initial country album with You Belong With Me that I cannot remember the name of.
But what I do like is the fact that it doesn't seem like she's like, because she's changing up her style, but it doesn't seem like she's pandering. It seems like it's just stuff she wants to do at the time.
Oh, yeah. Because
you can tell when a band starts pandering to like what people want to hear.
Yeah. Well, because I think if she was... Well, I would argue if she was... Because I think it's sort of been sort of displaced because if she was pandering,
yeah,
she probably would have been country this entire time. Like, because You Belong With Me was such a major hit that I would argue if you were going to ride that wave, you would have just kept riding the country wave. Because my country, there's like... If Keith Urban's... I keep shitting on Keith Urban. But it's just so easy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Keith Urban fans. But, like... But he's dating Nicole Kidman, so he doesn't care what I think.
All your songs sound the same, Keith.
He's married to Nicole Kidman. He's fine. He's sad.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's got, like, Batman money. She's whatever.
She divorced Tom Cruise.
That was probably
a very famous photo.
That was the smartest decision she's ever made. Was divorcing him.
Was ever made.
That crazy son of a bitch.
Yeah. Tom Cruise, not Nicole.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, Tom Cruise is.
We don't need the Nicole stands coming after us.
Yeah, no, well, Tom Cruise stands. Well, Tom Cruise stands by that. I mean, the Church of the
Church of Scientology.
Some Church of Scientology intern who's just like, I guess I gotta like Google like Tom Cruise, like reverse search for like any mention of this. Actually, this may be a good thing because maybe this actually gets it out there. Like, oh, this podcast mentioned Tom Cruise, and then we get more listeners that way. And they're like, I'm listening to 15 episodes so far, not one fucking mention of Tom Cruise. This is horse shit.
You gotta wait till the 22nd one.
Yeah, wait till the 22nd one. But like yeah. So back to the actual album that we're discussing.
Yes.
What
was your favorite song outright?
Outright, Cowboy Like Me.
Okay.
I mean, I like something like the singles like Willow. I understood what that was the single. That was a good lead-in. And I liked its sound. But Cowboy Like Me, I think, was the one. Like I kind of went in with the mindset of like, okay, this is like folk.
Yeah. And
that was the most folksy song. So maybe that was the thing. Also, I think one of the benefits of this was there's no expectation, right? There's no like press tour. There's no nothing. When you're as big as Taylor Swift, I imagine more artists will 100% release or surprise release their stuff because it seems to me like that's the best way to do it because there's no there's no press tour, there's no build up, there's no expectation. It's like here's our track, bam.
My first exposure to this album was my friends live about a building away I'm not gonna say names because that's rude. And I went over to their house one night, and I think it was like a week after this album came out. I sat on the couch as one of my friends just played like the entire album track for track, showing me lyrics. And that was the first Witcher's album.
After this, I'm gonna guess which one it is.
After this episode, you can guess exactly which one it was.
Yeah, no, like it's just ridiculous.
But it was one of those things I was so shocked because as we went through it, every single song I liked. There was never a moment where they put something on and I would hate it.
Yeah.
Like I liked every single thing that they played for me. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that even though kind of like I guess I kind of like sort of was long story short, I still overall like I liked it. I just thought that it just didn't fit the album. That's my other complaint. I like it as a singular song.
Yeah.
And I guess because I'm reviewing the whole album, I gotta consider that. So like I understand like people are saying like like talking about like. Because I read online some people saying like it got like good reviews, and other people saying like I don't like some of the chord progressions or the lyrics, and I'm like, well, in my thought process is like it's like Taylor make good music. I like good music, and that's my entire review.
It also showed me how long it's been since I've listened to Taylor Swift because I wasn't expecting like anything I heard.
Yeah, I haven't. Before this, the last song I listened to around its release was Blank Space.
The last album I remember any songs off of was Red. Because that got a lot of airplay. Oh,
was that the one with the Right Said Fred copyright, or was that the Look What You Made Me Do? Or no, that was. There's a song Look What You Made Me Do that came out.
Yeah, that was not off the album though.
No,
that might have been 1989, maybe.
No, that was one after. Wasn't there another one?
There was one more after that.
Because wasn't that also the one with Bad Blood?
Yes.
Something with an R. But but like that was like the last song. Look What You Made Me Do was the last one because there was the whole copyright because it sounded a lot like I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt by Right Said Fred.
All I know is someone else gonna try to give us shit for this. But how can we be in trouble for knowing something about a popular artist that sold so many albums?
Yeah, I mean, wow. Like, I mean, we should.
Y'all know popular music. Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, I think also, like... I thought you said how we don't know, because, I mean...
No, I'm saying that, like, someone's going to be like, y'all talking about Taylor Swift? And it's like, I mean, she sold, like, 80 million albums. Most people have heard her.
Yeah, I figured more people are just going to be crap because I can't list, like, I can't think of the album with You Belong With Me on it, and also...
you're probably going to get points for trying.
Yeah. And also, I can't remember the tracks. The only thing I remember about Look What You Made Me Do was the fact, like, I think it was like a retort to the Kanye.
Oh, that was that one.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh goodness, that was a weird moment.
Yeah, but overall,
what would you rate the album, sir?
I saw like I said, like a 9/10. Like, there's really not a track on here I disliked. I liked most of the chord progressions. The lyrics were like I listened to some of the lyrics, not a lot of them, because it's just kind of jamming to the beat while doing homework.
Yes.
But it kind of dealt with a lot of similar themes of like this one I think was like because it mentioned stuff like divorce or murder. I'm like, oh, it's more mature, because I don't think Taylor Swift's been married, but she's around. I think
she's never been married. No.
No, but I guess some at this point some of her friends I assume have been married or maybe even divorced, and so she probably kind of like retroact like through process of like association kind of gets it.
So like how through process of association I have a smoking problem.
I think through process of association you probably just have several health related issues that just stem from you being born in
both mental and physical.
Yeah, no, I mean like, and for sure. I mean you're gonna look like Putin in 30 years. It's be fucking terrifying.
I'm already halfway there, don't you?
I know.
I'm already halfway there.
But the thing is, you unlike him, you can never take full advantage of your model days. You went straight into like you went straight from like you were
in his model days. He's still having those.
That's true. But like you don't have like the same energy. Like you went straight from like kid to like you had like a couple years of model straight to like
KGB.
Straight to like KGB or like running for like
because he was in the KGB
for many years, or straight to like running for like presidential office like in like the 2000s. Running, yeah.
I don't want to say anything, but as he killed all his competitors.
That's what matter.
Yeah.
My personal favorite moment about that entire where people like kind of like learning about Putin's corruption, like, and the extent it goes to, is like there's like I think an Onion article from years ago.
Yes.
Where it's like I think it was back with Sochi, and they found like one of the people investigating like the claims of doping.
Yeah.
Got pushed onto a bed or he fell down the stairs into a bed of knives and died.
There was another one where it was like an organizer for the entire thing, shot himself in the head 3 times and threw himself out a window.
Oh no, what I'm talking about is actually like a fake thing.
The one I'm talking about is real.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why, because
someone reported it was like he killed himself by shooting himself 3 times in the head and fell out a window.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this one was like he tripped down the stairs into a bed of knives, and it's from the Onion, so obviously it's fake. But like a lot of people, like this is like a lot of people were like where
you didn't know if it was real or not. Like,
we didn't know if it was real or not, but also like a lot of people weren't even surprised. Like, yeah, that sounds like something Putin would do.
I mean, it does.
I
love how he brought in his mastiff, like black lab to scare Merkel, who's famously scared of dogs, and he kept that dog next to her the entire meeting they had.
Yeah.
She was just scared shitless the whole time.
Yeah, she's just all right. So you want to go on to questions now?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. I'll start.
Okay.
So, who directed the movie?
I need to start reading the wiki.
Well, that's why I talked about Taylor Sheridan a lot because he's the writer.
He's the writer. He didn't also direct it, did he?
No, that was only Wind River.
Oh, that's why you're trying. Oh, that's why you mentioned a lot because you thought I was gonna say Sheridan.
Yeah.
But in reality, I didn't say anything.
Well, no, I figured that because I would get that in your head, and then you think about it, and you just kept thinking of Sheridan, you couldn't think of the actual name, in case you did remember it.
I did not remember it.
Okay.
I am what the kids call a failure.
I think more than just kids call you a failure, Russ.
I don't remember that.
Okay. David Mackenzie,
David Mackenzie?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten anyway, because what else has he done?
Well, there's a few, he did, I think it's, he did a film before this that I cannot remember the name of, which is, it's one with, Jack O'Connell. Most people know O'Connell. He's the lead in Unbreakable,
yes.
That World War II movie directed by Angelina Jolie. And I think most recently he did, it was the one with Chris Pine plays Robert the Bruce. What the hell is that called?
I do not know.
No, the director, Genius.
Yeah, Genius.
I'm talking to this. Outlaw King. That was it.
Oh.
And then he did Startup. That's it. It's what the.
Well, I haven't seen either of those.
Yeah, he did mostly like small time like British films.
I got you.
And then did this is his first like American debut.
Yeah.
And then he did Outlaw King. I don't know what he's doing next.
I got you.
Hopefully it's good because I liked Hell or High Water and Outlaw King was alright. So moving on, what is the name of Jeff Bridges' character?
Hamilton.
What's his first name?
John Hamilton.
No.
Jeff Bridges Hamilton.
Nah. It's Marcus.
Marcus Hamilton.
Yeah, I'll give you
half points.
I'll give you I'll give you a point for that because you have the last name at least.
Okay.
But his name is I think it's with like the first scene they call him Marcus. How much money do the brothers need to pay off their debt?
They needed 50,000, didn't they?
No, not that much.
It wasn't that much.
It wasn't 50.
It's not 50. I'm gonna take one more shot at it. I'm trying to remember how much they took in the first 2 banks. Because I know they fucking said how much they got, but I'm trying to remember how much they got in the first 2 banks. Because I can just add the other banks to it. 10,000.
No, it's just they needed. It's in the scene with the bank.
Yeah.
They mentioned that the total debt owed is 25,000.
Oh.
I think they still 50 because it's 50-50 thing.
That's what I'm gonna owe for college.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm off to a bad start. 1 for 3.
Yeah. Who drinks Mr. Pibb?
Mr. Assholes.
Yep. There you go.
Remember that scene?
Yeah.
Because I was mad. Because you know who loves Mr. Pibb?
Yeah.
I do.
All right. Well, there you go.
You're not wrong, but I don't like the truth. 2
okay.
for 4.
Yep. There you go. This one's probably gonna help you out. How many Oscar nominations? Well, this one. That's
Jesus
fun.
Christ.
I'm gonna no.
Oh no.
I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
No, because this is actually in the movie.
Okay.
How many years has the waitress served for? In the scene where they're talking about the T-bone steak, she says
she's old as fuck.
She's old as fuck. She mentions it.
41 years.
You're really close.
Was it high or low? I want more shot at it.
You were a little low. You're a little low.
43 years.
I'll give it to you. It's 44.
God damn it.
I'll give it to you, though.
Thank you.
So
I knew it was in the 40s. I knew it was low 40s, but I didn't know where.
Yeah, she says, I've been serving for 44 years. All people have ever ordered is the T-bone and the potatoes.
Now, do you not want the corn or the green beans?
Yeah. I figured the Oscar announcement was a bit vain. All right, and, well, actually, you can do me now.
All right, let's see. I typed mine today.
Wow. I think I technically also typed mine, so.
You're not wrong.
Yep.
All right. If any of my questions seem bullshitty, we can always redo them.
Sure.
Who is Marjorie about? It's about one very specific person.
Oh, that's...
She was also... The person's about was also a minor celebrity back in the day. You don't have to get the name right, but you have to get the relation to Taylor Swift correct.
As in like an ex-boyfriend?
No, Marjorie.
Oh.
So I'll go ahead and give you this. It is a girl. What is the girl's relation to Taylor Swift?
Okay, so I totally blanked on that one. I'm going to guess that it was probably just someone she collabed with on an album.
Is that her grandmother?
Oh, should have known by Marjorie.
Is that her grandmother?
Okay.
That got her into music.
Okay. Makes sense.
Because it talks about like memories with her and like basically like the start with music.
Yeah. You can tell how much I listen to the lyrics and stuff.
Well, this next question might not help you then.
Alright, then.
What's the main character's name in No Body, No Crime? It's repeated multiple times. It's like the first word of the song. Starts with an E.
Isn't it Lane?
Oh, we're in for a rough time for you, son. It's Esty.
Esty. Oh.
Esty is a friend of mine. I think it's like we go out every Friday for a conversation and a glass of wine.
Oh, that makes way more sense. I thought you said bestie. That's okay.
No, because then the next verse after the chorus is like, Esty wasn't there at a job at Olive Garden, Friday night or anywhere.
All right. 3 in a row. 3 in a row. Let's go.
Okay, I'm going to ask you the one that made major news a few years ago, because this song on the album was about it.
Okay.
And there's only like three options here, so I have faith in you.
Okay.
At face value, what is the song Closure about? It was trending on Twitter for a long ass time a few years ago. Massive. Actually, it's why she's been compared to Tom Petty a bunch. Tom Petty was very famous in the music industry for one specific thing that happened in the fucking 80s. There was a big deal with... I don't know how to tell you without giving you the answer.
Isn't the fact that she bought she bought the rights to her music?
I will give you points for that. Because you're on the right track. I don't think she was able to buy them, but the label basically took all of her music and tried to get her like.
Oh, that was it. She had to
renegotiate the contract.
She had to renegotiate, then she I think re-recorded most of her old music, right?
But she ended up not, from what I understand, she ended up not renegotiating. She just left the label, and now she's actively re-recording all of her music.
Yeah,
so she can have rights to it.
Yeah, I guess was it either she's making masters or they own the masters, but she's gonna re-record them and just re-release them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's gonna release like a lot of her old stuff for like free.
Okay.
Because she already has money for it.
Well, yeah.
How many albums has she put out now? You know what? I'll give you a hint. It's higher than 5, less than 10.
7.
I'll get one more shot.
6.
God damn it. It's 9.
Oh my god.
Was that a bullshit question? If it was, tell me.
No. I'm not familiar, but that's something I probably should have.
If any questions are just bullshit, tell me.
I mean, the lyric stuff I probably should have gotten. I gotta pay more attention to lyrics. I gotta start looking up Rap Genius and shit.
This last question, I hope you can get it.
Yeah.
Because it's globally, how many albums were sold in the first week? It's a massive number. As long as you can get like, I don't need a specific number.
Isn't like over what? Isn't like over 500,000?
I'll give one more shot.
Over 1 million in the first week.
There you go. I don't know the exact number. It's basically the site just said 1 million plus were sold universally in the first week, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Well, that's not including the fact that 20 million people listen to the album on Spotify.
Yeah. It was like 34 million listened to it on Spotify, like within like the first month. It was stupid.
Yeah.
I hate it. I mean, I'm happy for it, but I hate it for us. Because we're not successful like she is.
Well, we're not as talented as she is.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'll openly admit that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have a 1 point advantage on you.
Okay.
But is there another question you want to ask to try to fuck me over?
Well, wait, dude. What about the bonus question?
You go first on those questions, then.
All right. This one was kind of.
Need to think of
this one was kind of bullshit. In what year did the asshole from New York order trout?
1978.
No, 1987.
Oh my gosh! I'm honestly impressed. I got all 4 numbers correct. I just got them in the wrong order.
Yep.
I'm impressed with that actually, so I'm not too upset with this. Okay. Since that's your game, I will ask you this.
Okay.
You don't need to be specific. I just need a general theme. What's the general theme of 'Tis the Damn Season? Also, a cuss word in a Taylor Swift title. Oh my gosh, is edgy. General theme.
Divorce.
Oh my gosh. I'll give you one more shot. It's not. It's like it's a very common thing that we, especially like with people from our high school, we see it a lot. We see it a lot. At least I do. Something that happens a lot during winter, when college lets out, everyone goes back home.
Oh,
It's also a very famous movie trope. Hallmark movies.
Oh, the one where they go back and they find love during the Christmas season or some shit like that?
Yes,
and
they go back to their old boyfriends and girlfriends during winter. Because it is the damn season. Because you're all drunk and lonely in winter in your hometown. There's no one else there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was about COVID-19 at first.
No. At least that's not what I took from it.
Fair enough. But, yeah, okay. So you guys can see. I guess I gotta listen to this. I only kind of... I guess I gotta re-listen to the album, huh? I liked it.
You've done better on lyrics before, though. So I thought those were safe to ask.
No, those were safe.
They fucked you over.
Those were safe. I just completely fucking blanked on the lyrics. Like, honestly, Marjorie one I should have gotten because it's Marjorie, and then, no offense, that's an old-ass name.
It is.
So I guess
Have you met Marjorie? I haven't.
Not under the age of 60.
But you have met one?
Well, yeah, but she's like 70-something.
Oh, is it your relative?
Friend of my grandma's.
Gotcha. Well, so I lost.
No, I lost.
I lost the bonus round though.
But you didn't even give me a. Well, no, I also lost the bonus round.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right then, you lost. I'm not good at keeping track of scores.
Yeah.
How I watch sports is a nightmare.
Well, they show you. Well, the thing with the sports is they show you the score.
We all know I can't read.
The entire time. It's numbers.
Well, that explains why I can't read.
Okay, if you can't read, how do you know what the Minnesota Vikings are? How do you know that's their name?
I just see purple and go with it.
You see purple and go with it?
Yes.
Nah.
Yeah. Well, check what shirt I was wearing.
Yeah, for the listener, Russ is wearing a Prince shirt.
Yes.
Is that... Well, actually, hold up. I gotta ask. Is that why Prince chose purple as his motif? Was purely because he's a Vikings fan, or just because, like...
I don't know if he was ever a Vikings fan, but he is from Minneapolis.
See, I thought he was. I thought he's, like, been to games and stuff.
He might be. I don't personally know, so I don't want to commit to the fact that he is. But, I mean, if he's from Minneapolis, there's a high chance he probably is.
That was a fun episode.
It was.
I guess I gotta listen to more lyrics next time I do an album. You know what it was? It's probably it was like a... Because I just listened, because it was instrumental last time, and
yes.
I think it's because like I was just like,
you got cocky.
Oh yeah, I got cocky. I listened to it again, no problem, and I forgot the fucking lyrics.
It's okay. Happens best of us.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry Taylor Swift fans.
It's not okay. They won't forgive you.
I'm sure they won't.
They won't.
I mean, I don't forgive myself.
It's okay. I forgive you though. That's what matters. I hope
That's honestly worse.
I hope you make the shot. By the way, it's going on the episode. Gee, oh my gosh!
Made it.
Well, with that, I've been Russ.
I've been Gus.
And bye.
Bye.